What do Office Space, Albert Camus, and Groundhog Day have in common? And what does any of that have to do with you being a leader in the age of AI? Well, I recall reading Albert Camus' The Myth of Sisyphus back in college, and if you don't know the story, the Greek gods punished Sisyphus by dooming him to perpetually push a large boulder up a hill, and every time he got to the top, the boulder would roll back down the hill. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Anybody who's worked a job their whole life can feel a lot like Sisyphus at times, especially those of us who sit at a computer 12 hours a day like you might be doing right now. In Groundhog Day, the movie, one of my all-time favorites, for Phil Connor's hell was waking up to Sonny and Cher again. Don't forget your booties, cause it's cold out there today. In Office Space, to this day, the reason I could never work a cubicle job no matter how much it paid, Peter Gibbons said, "It's not that I'm lazy, it's that I just don't care." 3 stories about the same problem, humans doing the same repetitive thing over and over with no clear finish line. Now, obviously, this is a form of human torture, or we wouldn't keep talking about it. Well, that's what keeping up with technology feels like right now for a lot of the people that I talk to and the leaders that I've spoken with. The ones that are struggling the most aren't the ones who can't learn the tools, they're the ones who are angry that they have to, again, after the last wave of must-learn technology, and of course, the one before that. That's Peter Gibbons. He was exhausted by absurd meaninglessness. Camus would have understood that completely, but he wasn't nearly as eloquent or as funny or as wise as Mike Judge, a national treasure. What I love about Groundhog Day, though, is the philosophical evolution. Phil Connors stops trying to escape the repetition. The day doesn't change, he does. What better metaphor for our life and our work? Now, I've watched this exact arc play out in workshops from Amsterdam to Denver, and nobody knows which of the new technologies they should actually learn and which will be the tickle-me-elmos of tomorrow. Of course, it's not about pushing the boulder faster, it's about changing our relationship with the hill altogether. We need to stop expecting change to end. We must find meaning in the push itself. Camus said famously, at the end of his essay, one must imagine Sisyphus happy, that even he could rise above the fate and find joy in the choice to walk back down the hill and start again. Phil Connors didn't escape February 2nd by fighting it, he escaped it by finding meaning inside it. And in a great twist of irony, upon gaining his freedom, he chose to live and stay right there in Punxsutawney. But why? Peter Gibbons changed his relationship to work by finding a new job outside with no TPS reports in sight. So if you're a leader watching another AI announcement roll across your feed and you're overwhelmed, or you get that familiar tightness in your chest feeling, you might feel like you're waking up to Sonny and Cher yet again. AI is simultaneously promising to push the boulder uphill for us, eliminating many of those repetitive tasks, and also forcing on us another kind of treadmill, the treadmill of perpetually learning new technologies. The leaders that I see coming out ahead aren't the ones who bury their head in the sand right now. They're the ones who get comfortable with the process of not knowing. They've learned to embrace change and to find meaning in the pursuit of lifelong learning, and they can effectively communicate this pursuit to their organization. Because I don't want to just imagine Sisyphus happy, I want you to be happy too.